Greetings, Rovers. Today is going to be a short one. I'm going to be going over the Gacha system in Wuthering Waves, break down all the banners, the rates, percentages, and other various information regarding this specific system. I'd appreciate it if you guys drop me subscribe, as I'm currently running a $100 subscriber giveaway. And also I will be streaming all day on May 22nd over on Twitch for the release of Wuthering Waves and doing a 24-hour stream. I hope to see you there. Alright, so let's get into it. There's a lot of various names for everything, which may seem confusing, so I'm going to break everything down for you. Basically, convenes equals pulls. That's the short-term terminology that you'll see on a lot of the pull pages for how you actually do your rolls. Astrate is the premium currency, which allows you to convert 160 astrate into one pull on any banner. And tides, which there are 3 different types of tides. These are going to be what are the gacha tickets for actually pulling on the banners. So again, you have convenes, which is pulls, astrates, which is the premium currency, 100 equals 1 pull, and 3 different types of tides. The types of tides are lustrous, which is used on the normal banners, radiant, which is used on the character banner, the specific character banners. We're going to be starting with Jian and then Yinlin's banner after 20 or 21 days after launch. And then forging tides, which are going to be used for the weapon event banner. Again, we're starting with Jian's weapon event banner, and then Yinlin's will come out when Yinlin's banner comes out. No other further characters or banners have been announced yet, so we don't know for certain what is coming past Yinlin. But if I had to guess, we're going to get a lot of information regarding this very soon. More than likely around the time the game launches, we'll find out what the 3rd banner is going to be. And there's nothing new here if you're used to, things like Honkai Star Rail or Genshin. From the pulls, you're obviously able to get 3, 4, and 5-star weapons, and then 4 and 5-star resonators. Obviously, the higher the stars, the better the rarity, and typically the better the character or weapon. It will usually have more stats, usually. The 4-star guarantee is every 10 pulls you do on a banner. Obviously, you are going to get 1 4-star guaranteed, and the counter resets every time you pull a 4-star resonator or weapon. Pretty standard stuff here. Nothing new if you've played Genshin or Star Rail. Alright, so for every 3, 4, and 5-star character, you're going to get something called oscillate corals or afterglow curls. These are in-game currencies that you'll be able to use to spend to get additional resources after you do your pulls. Each 3-star weapon, which is basically the junk rolls, will give you 15 oscillate corals. Afterglow corals, which are the more premium currency as opposed to oscillate corals, you're going to get 3 for pulling a 4-star weapon, 15 for pulling a 5-star weapon. When you pull a 4-star resonator, you are not going to get afterglow curls on the first pull, but from your 1st to 6th duplicate for their ascension, you're going to get 3 afterglow curls and obviously 1 wave band. Just to note, wave bands are used to level up the character's resonance chain, which basically means every duplicate you get past the 1st, you're going to get 1 additional resonance chain on that character. And then the 7th duplicate onwards, after you've maxed out the character's resonance chain, you will get 8 afterglow corals for each character pulled past that. Gaining a 5-star resonator works more or less the same way, but with increased numbers. The first time you pull a 5-star resonator, you will not receive any afterglow corals, but the first 2 6th duplicates, you will receive 15 afterglow corals and 1 wave band to level up that character's resonance chain. And then again, from the 7th duplicate onwards, you will be receiving 40 afterglow corals each time. Alright, so now you're going to be asking, what exactly can I do with these afterglow corals and oscillate corals? Well, for the afterglow corals, you can specifically buy more pulls, which you're going to be looking at roughly about 8 afterglow corals per additional pull. Or, alternatively, you can buy wave bands for the characters to level up their resonance chain. Each wave band, you're only going to be able to buy 2 at a time for the total of 270 on standard 5-star characters, or 360 for the event banner characters. This means that roughly every 90 pulls, considering you're guaranteed to get a 4-star, you're able to exchange that for 1 wave band. So on top of the 5-star that you're guaranteed to get upon doing X amount of pulls, which I'll go into shortly, you're also building up that afterglow coral currency in order to purchase a wave band for your character. These wave bands most likely will reset on a monthly basis, so you'll be able to get your character to a 6-star resonance chain after about 3 months, assuming you're just completely unlucky. Keep note though, that is a ton of pulls, and you will more than likely have to swipe if you're going to get 2 per month, as we're only getting roughly about 240 to 270 pulls through standard means within the game. You can see one of my previous videos where I go over all the asteroid currency available in the game on launch. Alright, in regards to oscillate curls, these are used to purchase pulls, which reset on a monthly basis. You can purchase 6 standard pulls, 6 weapon pulls, and 6 banner pulls per month with these items. You could also buy various upgrade materials for your resonators, weapons, and echoes. Moreover, you can purchase ascension materials for your resonators, which are needed when upgrading every 10 levels. Lastly, you can purchase shell credits, which is probably the worst thing you could buy with your corals. Alright, so nextly we have the novice convene. This is basically going to be the beginner's pulling, where once you've pulled 50 times on the banner, it's going to disappear forever. You're going to be able to do 10 pulls for a discounted cost of 8 tides each. And after you have pulled on this banner 50 times, so 5 of the 8 pulls, which comes out to about 40 of the tides, you are going to be able to receive a random 5-star for free. Just want to throw in a quick caveat here, because this is what was offered on CBT 1 and 2. Although previously, back in April, after the CBT had ended, there was some leaks that there is going to be a 5-star selected banner convene after you do 80 pulls to get a specific 5-star of your choosing. This has not been confirmed yet, despite various sources telling you that it is confirmed, and I was under the impression it was as well back when I made one of my first videos. So I just want to throw it out there again to set expectations. The 5-star selector banner is not guaranteed, but Kuro is probably going to put it in, now that, the entire community is talking about it, and it's sort of become a staple talking point on a lot of people's videos. I foresee them throwing it in just as a good faith measure. Personally, I think if they didn't, I think they would be losing a lot of good faith with the community, and people would be severely upset. The launch of this game is going to be incredibly important to Kuro, and they're going to need to do everything within their power to make sure the player base is happy and sticks around. And for that reason alone, I think the 5-star selector will be on launch. We'll have to wait and see. I have a feeling we'll get some news a couple days prior to the game launching, if it will be in or not, and I'll obviously update you guys with any official news coming out. Alright, so some more information regarding the guaranteed banner that we're going to get. The rates for 5-star resonators is a 0.8%, so that means each individual roll that you do, you have a 0.8% chance of getting a random 5-star. And when I say a random 5-star, it's specifically for a 5-star resonator. You cannot get 5-star weapons off of the standard pull banner. The rate for pulling a 4-star resonator or weapon is 6%, and specifically I said weapons because you can pull 4-star weapons off of the novice banner. There is no specific rate ups for weapons or banners, so each 4-star weapon and resonator has the same amount of chance as anything else, same with the 5-stars. And you can only use lustrous tides on this banner, which is the basic summoning tickets. And here is a list of the 5-star standard resonators you can get: Verena, Encore, Calcharo, Ling Yang, and Jianjin. Alright, so now we get over to the permanent convene banner. So this is going to be the banner that's going to be in the game for the foreseeable future. You're able to guarantee a 5-star within 80 convenes or 80 pulls, and this isn't shared pity with any sort of event banners. So it's specifically 80 pulls on this banner alone. The same rates apply to this banner as the convene banner, as the newbie banner, 0.8% for a 5-star resonator, and 6% for a resonator weapon or weapon. Again, you can only use the basic lustrous tides on this, and you can get the same 5-stars that I just talked about. So it's the exact same thing as the newbie banner, but it just has that difference between, not being on a discount like the newbie banner was for 8 convenes for 10 pulls. It's going to be a 10 for 10, and the guaranteed 5-star is at 80 convene. Alright, so next up we have the weapon permanent convene. And this is obviously going to be the permanent convene that is always in place for the weapons. And for this, it works much different than any other game, where you're going to be able to select the specific weapon that you want to focus when doing the pulls. You'll get your specific weapon at pity at 80, and it'll be the weapon that you chose before you started doing your pulls. You could select any of the standard 5-star targets, the sword, broadblade, pistols, gauntlets, or the rectifier. And I'm starting to sound like I'm repeating myself, but 5-star weapon is 0.8%, and the 4-star resonator or weapon from this banner is 6%. So you have a 6% chance to get a purple, and a 0.8% chance to get that legendary that you're going for, but you are guaranteed it at 80 pulls. Again, you can only use lustrous tides for this, which is the basic pulls. So here's a brief overview of all of the weapons. I did make a video about this on the specific weapon that you should look for, but at the end of the day, you should be looking for the weapon that is going to fit best for your main, whoever that may be, and whatever team you may decide to use. Next up, we have the character event convene, which on May 22nd, when the game launches, we are going to get Jian's banner, and roughly 3 weeks later, we will get Yin Lin's banner, who's an Electro Rectifier DPS. And obviously, if you guys are familiar with character banners, there is going to be rate up for the 1 5-star resonator, which is Jian, and then there's going to be a rate up for 3 4-star resonators, Danjin, Mortefi, and Chixia. And as usual, the rates are going to be the same, 0.8% for a 5-star, 6% for a 4-star. Once you pull a 5-star resonator, either through pity or through the 0.8%, you will have a 50-50 chance on getting the event banner, in this case Jian, resonator. So it's a 1 in 2 chance of getting the resonator you want upon pity, or any sort of 5-stars that you would randomly pull through the 0.8%. I know a lot of you are going to be confused about this article when it says you are guaranteed to obtain a 5-star within 80 pulls. That is true. You have a 50-50 chance of hitting it. But you will not guaranteed to get the resonator within 160 pulls, as it is a 50-50 chance each time that you hit pity to get the rate up resonator. You will not be guaranteed to get Jian after 160 pulls in the resonator if you miss a 50-50 shot twice. Please keep that in mind. And remember, you can only use radiant tides on this banner. You cannot use the standard lustrous tides. It's only the radiant tides that can be used on this banner to pull. Or, obviously, astrite at 160 per. And finally, we have the weapon convene. In this case, Jian's weapon, Verdant Summit, which is his best in slot weapon. Same rates as usual. You have a 0.8% chance of getting the 5-star weapon, 6% chance on getting a 4-star resonator or weapon, but unlike other games, which is going to be huge, once you pull a 5-star weapon either through the 0.8% chance or through hitting pity within 80, you are 100% guaranteed to get the weapon of the banner. None of this 50-50, 75-25 bullshit like other games have. You will get the weapon assuming you hit pity. This is huge, and no other game has done this before, to my understanding. And that's it. Now you're a master of the Gacha system in Wuthering Waves. And that wraps it up. Thanks for sticking along for the ride. Please drop me a like and subscribe, as I sincerely appreciate it. And let me know down below who you're most excited for to pull. Is there any specific weapons that you're going for? What teams are you going for? I'm curious to hear what the community has to say. And until next time, guys, have a good one. See you later.